obviously I'm not a branded name, but
you will be after this show, Jeff.
You will be after this show.
Don't you worry. Okay? People will know.
Jeff, the only reason Adam asked that question is because he wants to know if he's justified in all the times that he cursed Pete Dye. So,
I would never curse a man. Like, it's a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, you're kidding?
It's not. They didn't even build it right.
What are we doing?
It's hacked. They shanked it.
They shanked it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stick and Hack Show, a sophisticated and brilliant look into the world of golf from a stick and a hack. Now, your hosts, Mike Ryan and Adam Grubb.
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is the Stick and Hack Show. I'm your host, Adam Grubb. That's Mike Ryan, the stick right there. Mike, what is up with you, sir? And how are you?
I'm super. How are you, man? You doing okay?
I'm discombobulated.
You
Mike,
feel like it seems. You seem a little.
I'm discombobulated. It's been one of those days, one of those weeks, one of those years, quite frankly. And but here I am. We're gonna get through it. And the way we're gonna get through it is to talk about my favorite topic, golf architecture. Now, this is one of those topics, honestly, that people have been clamoring for months. They're like, why don't you get somebody on here that can talk, first of all, at a level higher than what you guys are doing, but also about golf architecture, because it's such a unique topic. It's such a cool topic, and there's a lot of things that are happening right now in that golf space, in the golf design, architecture space, that we've just never really uncovered. Today's guest is going to help us do that. Jeff Lawrence, president and principal designer at Lawrence Golf Design. He worked with names such as Fazio, Player, and Nicklaus, and now, Mike, he is a guest on the Stick and Hack Show. It's not a bad resume, and that last one there, that's a nice resume.
The cherry on top.
It's indeed. So Jeff Lawrence is on the show today. We're going to get with him in just a little bit. First, though, Mike, we will talk about a newcomer to the golf design game. All right. Now, this story comes to us from golf.com. Just for clarity, I didn't write a single solitary word of this, Mike. Justin Thomas, major champion, 14-time PGA Tour winner, and 7th-ranked player in the world, now has another title to add to his resume. It's golf course architect. In a groundbreaking ceremony several months ago in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, Thomas was on hand to mark the start of construction on his first design project, a collaboration with Jack Nicklaus called Panther National. The course, which is slated to open in late 2023, will anchor an upscale lifestyle community of the same name that will feature a range of sustainable initiatives, including infrastructure and amenities powered by energy from Tesla. Yeah, that's right.
That's
My
cool.
boy Elon Musk has found his way into the golf space.
Yeah.
Cool. It is being described now. I did write that. That didn't come from the article.
You didn't even write it. You just said it.
As the first golf development in Palm Beach County in nearly 20 years. Thomas, who's 28 years old, roughly the same age Nicklaus was when Pete Dye famously asked him for his design input on the golf club in Columbus, Ohio. In subsequent years, the two men collaborated on multiple projects before Nicklaus embarked on his own design career that we know very well today. Nicklaus, who was also at the groundbreaking, said that his design work has helped shape his perspective as a player and the other way around. He said that he's expected the same would be true for Thomas. In addition to the Nicklaus-Thomas 18-hole course, Panther National, Mike, will have a 9-hole par 3 course, practice facilities with shot tracing technology, an indoor simulator, a putting room, and a custom club fitting center. Set on 400 acres and surrounded by an expansive conservation area, the development will have 218 custom estates, ranging from 4,700 to 10,000 square feet. Each of those luxury homes will have 2 or 3 car garages with an electric charging station, shock of the year. Panther National has also partnered with Tesla Energy to provide Powerwall backup systems in all estates and amenities. That, Mike, is the future of golf course design. When you think about it today, it is not just the course anymore. It's the entire experience around the course. And to think that these people, when they design a course, they're like, oh, that's really cool, but we need to design all this other stuff as well, right?
Yeah.
How quickly it has changed over the years.
Yeah, they're taking that up a notch. That's not something I ever had even crossed my mind as something that you might do, but I mean, it's actually kind of genius.
It is. It's not just about moving and where do the bunkers go and where do you tee off. Now it is how do people experience that course day in and day out. And somebody who has a much better sense of that is famed golf architect Jeff Lawrence. His design experience is based on a well-founded design career, producing numerous award-winning projects, both domestically and internationally. Over 35 years in the design business has offered him the unique opportunity to work in collaboration with some of the greatest golf course architects of our time. Jack Nicklaus, Tom Fazio, and Gary Player. Those are the big three when you think about golf course design. No other architect has had this fortunate opportunity, and his in-depth knowledge of the technical aspects of golf course design, combined with his creative flair, helps support the vision of each project. We welcome in to the Stick and Hack Show, Jeff Lawrence, golf course architect and principal of Lawrence Design. Jeff, welcome into the show. Good to see you. Happy to have you here.
Thank you, Adam. Hi, Mike.
All right, so you heard that story. Are we on base there? I mean, this is golf course design is no longer just, hey, we got some acreage here. Let's put some cool holes. Let's put the water over here. Let's put some sand traps here. You're really involved in designing an experience from the beginning to the end of when they walk onto that property.
Absolutely. It starts once they hit the entry into the property and all the way through the experience of getting into the clubhouse, the locker room, the practice facilities. I mean, it's all encompassing, just like you had mentioned. So it just doesn't start like, where you put the tees, where you put the bunkers, what size greens do you have. It's bigger and broader than that.
The course is almost, in some cases, secondary, especially in Florida. And that's been that way for a long time. Florida has been more about the master plan golf community as more so than the course. But you get into like Wisconsin, you get into some of these other states where Michigan, the course becomes much more important and vital to driving people there, because not everybody wants to go to the center of Wisconsin. I know that's shocking to most, but the course is what's driving people there. In Florida, you're being driven by the experience. Does it matter to you what you're designing for, and does it affect the way you design courses?
It really doesn't matter. I've been involved with private clubs, resorts, public. What you try to do is just try to find the best 18 golf holes you possibly can find on that property. Sometimes Mother Nature gives you something to work with, and then there are other times where it's a dead flat site, and you have to create every square foot of that property. So it's you definitely need to know who your target market is, who your client is, and you need to obviously go in it with full vision of who is the client, what are the objectives of the developer, and kind of start from there.
Jeff, before you started your own company, you worked with some of the best in the business, like Adam mentioned earlier. How has that shaped your career in golf design?
Well, I've been very fortunate to have some great mentors, starting with Jack Nicklaus, and I didn't go to school to be a golf course architect. It kind of happened, but learning from the best. Starting with Jack, and then doing some construction and project management, then starting as a designer for Tom Fazio, and then most recently 15 years with Gary Player. It's been an amazing ride, and I've learned a great deal from the basics of how to build a golf course, to design a golf course. And I've traveled the world. I've done design work in 23 countries on 6 continents. So I've seen quite a bit, and I look back on my career and just how thankful I am to have those mentors teach me throughout the process and over the last 35 years.
Yeah, your mentors were like Jordan and Kobe and Bird, and I mean those aren't mentors. Those are the giants and the titans, Jeff. I mean,
yeah.
Do you ever look back there and just kind of pinch yourself a little bit and go, holy cow, like that's quite an apprenticeship. That's a different level of school. You're passing right through the bachelor degree, and you're going right for the doctorate pretty early there in your career.
Yeah, it's I oftentimes I just need to stop and think and look back on the process of where I started and where I am today, and we take so many things for granted in life, and it kind of fell into place perfectly. Just the process and spreading my wings as far as an architect, and now over 2 years out on my own, hopefully there's a value to a client out there with the experience I have now under my own brand. So it's been an amazing ride, and I have to continue to to remember that.
Mike and I were lucky enough to have Mr. Gary Player on this very show last year, and it's hard to imagine that he was that positive with you all the time. I mean, it's okay, you can do it, you're okay. Was he really that positive in work, or did he bring the boss hammer down every now and then?
No, Mr. Player and I have a great relationship, and it continues today. And he was so open, and just a great open working relationship. I respected obviously what he had to bring to the table, and he respected my experience as well. So that collaboration was amazing, and traveling with him around the world doing projects, in a lot of interesting places, was a great experience, and I'm sorry it came to an end, but sometimes you just need to know when it's time to move on, and but it's still a very respectful and strong relationship we still have.
Looking at your design and work, we're with Jeff Lawrence here, golf course architect and designer. Looking at your work, you seem to have a love for the aesthetics and the scenery of a course. How does that process work with designing the space there with the earth without disturbing it? You got this great vista, you don't want to lose it, but you also got to build. What's that process?
Mm-hmm. Well, you really need to understand the site going into it. You need to study the site. You need to walk the site. You need to really know all the ins and outs of what can you do, what should you do. Obviously, you want to make a golf course that's sustainable, that's eco-friendly, that's environmentally sensitive, and every site's different. And there are so many experiences we don't have enough time to talk about. But golf is a visual game. And so obviously the visual aesthetics of a golf course is, in my opinion, extremely important. And so you look at that and how you design a golf course with bunkers, with grasses, with sharp edges, with vegetation, etc. It's all putting the puzzle together. And once again, it's sometimes you have a clean slate on a flat piece of ground, and sometimes you have some severe topography that you have to work with. So, a flat site would be the project Saadiyat in Abu Dhabi, and something that's pretty strong topography where it was thrashing cliffs on the cliffs of the Black Sea in Bulgaria. So it, and everything in between. So it's really putting the puzzle together and having all those years of experience allowing me to do.
I have a hard time going down to my local municipal course, Mike. Imagine that trip going over to Bulgaria,
right,
and, on the cliffs there. But
I can only imagine you playing golf in Bulgaria. That'd be quite the sight. Jeff, the interest in golf course renovation among public facilities is actually at a 4-year high. And recent report said it's up 7% over the last 2 years. For you, what's more challenging, a renovation of a course or having a blank canvas to design against on a new course?
I would definitely say, well, there's different scopes of renovations, but I would say renovations, because you're trying to work within something that's already there, and typically you're working with committees or owners, with defined schedules, defined budgets, and sometimes it's designed by committee, which gets a little challenging. But right now the bread and butter for most architects is renovation work. We're seeing a little bit more new construction, which is great, but most of the projects, most golf course designers right now and contractors, it's renovation work.
I would think. Now, my limited knowledge of this topic here will be illuminated, but I would think that the renovation space has got to be the most challenging, because you've got members of that course or people that have grown up there or started their entire golf life at this course, and now you're changing it. And I mean, you're the purists, they don't like anything changing in golf. Number one, you got your old men's group that's been playing there for 35 years. That all of a sudden some slick back hair dudes coming in to rock and roll our course right out of their own abilities. It's got to be difficult for you to politically come in and be like, hey, I'm not changing everything. Just everybody calm down. We're keeping the bones. It's just like renovating a historic home or something, right? What is the first thing you think of, and politically, how do you navigate those waters of a board of directors or the community itself? That's got to. I would just say, forget it. Find me a flat piece of land in Nebraska and let's go.
Right. Well, I think going into it, you really need to understand what are the club's objectives, and ask a lot of questions. I'm doing a project now. That I do 2 or 3 focus groups with the members and the different skill levels. I mean, from the single digits all the way to the seniors, super seniors, the ladies. And I also will play a couple times with some members to see how they play the course. But going into it with a full disclosure of what their objectives are, then that kind of sets the tone for the next steps that I would take.
Yeah, typically we only know about the renovations of courses that are famous in the PGA Tour or the LPGA because they want to make them longer. They want to move Augusta just went through another renovation just recently. That is what the public sees. But in reality, of the 14 to 16,000 courses that are across the United States, there are courses being renovated constantly from facilities to the bunkers to the irrigation and drainage and all those things. It's not just about moving a tee box or shipping a hole around. It's more about how does that course continue to survive in the climate or whatever, right? I mean, there's so many other things that you could be renovating in a course.
Correct. I mean, a golf course is a living and breathing thing, and everything has a life cycle. And whether it's, a green, a bunker, the irrigation system, the drainage, the grasses, I mean, everything has a lifespan. So there are so many courses right now that, that I'm doing a project now that the greens are 25 years old. So the construction practices, at that time and the drainage and the irrigation is all outdated. So it needs to be brought up to current standards, design and from a technical standpoint. So you have to look at both of those aspects going into renovation. And a lot of times there'll be a budget restrictions, or members don't want to give up their golf course for 8, 10, 12 months. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. But it's interesting. And the thing about renovation work is you're educating the members. You're trying to explain to them that this needs to be done for this reason and that reason, and in most cases they understand, as long as you're diligent and you can articulate your message.
So just so I'm clear, that those are actual reasons for renovation. It's not just for the club to give you a dues hike every year. There is actually this renovation that has to happen due to scientific reasons. Okay, I got you, Jeff. I understand now. Don't you worry. We're all on the same page here, baby. The golf architects that we know, they have a very signature design element. Mike, our boy, Pete Dye. Pete Dye was big in railroad ties. He had those types of little nuances that unless you're a golf nerd, you sometimes don't even realize till someone tells you on the course, like, hey, that's the signature element there. That this type of design. What's your signature design element, and is there a story behind it?
I hate to bore you, but I don't have one.
Great question, Shane. Good work.
What I try to do is if someone steps on a golf course and says, oh, that's a Nicklaus course or that's a Palmer course, I think that gets stigmatized in something that looks consistent throughout every golf course. Personally, I don't like to do that. I like courses, the styles to be a little bit different based off the property, based off the vision of the the golf course and location, etc. So I try to find the best 18 golf holes possible and work around that. And whether it's the shaping, it's the bunkering, it's the grasses and the contrast and the definition. I would hope that if someone stepped on my golf course. Obviously I'm not a branded name, but
you will be after this show, Jeff. You
you
will be after this show. Don't you worry. Okay? People will know.
I hope so.
Oh boy,
Mike.
I know this might be hard, but walk us through the process. From dirt to first tee. How's your team work through the design that you put together? Once you've got the design set, and now you guys are breaking ground and you're actually building the course. What's that process look like?
Well, you'll stake the golf course, the tees, the landing areas, and the greens, and based off the grading plans and all the other detailed design documents, the contractor will stake that out and start moving the dirt. Usually the bigger dirt at first, if there's a big lake or a big fill, a big cut, and start getting the dirt in place. Once you have the bulk dirt in place, then you can start shaping the landforms, the features, getting into a little bit more detail with bunkers and greens. But a lot of it is set up on the plans, and I'm a true believer that the plans are a good guideline, but spending time in the field with the contractor, with the owner, and getting your hands dirty and lots of site visits to really makes the difference. So a good set of plans, and then we get into the detail of bunker lines and fairway lines and drainage and all those things that go along into the design. You need to know the technical aspects as well. So a lot of irrigation. So you have to be pretty broad in all your knowledge of somewhat from an engineering standpoint. It's hydraulics, it's drainage, it's knowing your grasses, etc. So there's quite a bit to know, and from start to finish, it's a process, and it's exciting when dirt starts moving, but I think the most exciting is when you see water flowing, spraying out of irrigation heads. Then it's.
Do you
close
get
to
out
being
there
done.
and you're getting your you talked about getting your hands dirty? Are you out there actually moving dirt, or are you leaving that to other people? Or
No, I leave that up to the experts. But I'll jump
Yeah.
on a sand pro
Yeah.
and float a green or do something like that. But
He's still a boy, Mike.
the
He's
shapers
still a
on-
boy. When it's all said and done, he's still going to get on. He's going to get on the
Absolutely.
machine and he's going to move some stuff around.
absolutely.
Yeah. So getting a good shaper. Those guys are
Right.
artists on bulldozers. They're amazing what they do, and it takes many years to really get good at it. So I leave it up to the shapers to really shape the golf course and work closely with them to
Right.
get exactly what.
What I find fascinating is that you always hear these stories afterwards, like so and so designed it this way because they knew that the ball would roll here and that this is the average thing. I always find that hard to believe that someone has that type of vision. Oakmont is a perfect example of that story, and that's a historic course, right? But and forgive me, but I am the hack of the stick and hack. I don't know who designed it. It could have been you, Jeff. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. The story goes is that wherever the ball landed in the fairway, it was designed to roll and have some sort of roll to it into one of those church pew bunkers, and that he wanted that there was like a very small patch that you could land to not start to roll out of the fairways and into the rough and stuff. And I don't know if that's true or not, but does that kind of diabolical thought process ever hit your head? Like, hey, this I'm going to do this. If they don't do this, then this is going to be the penalty. Is that how you think? Are you a weirdo like that?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Well, that's all in the strategy of the golf course, and obviously some golf courses are more strategic than others. Some are harder, some are easier. Obviously, once again, you go back to, who is going to be the client, and what are the demographics of the typical golfer at that property. So, absolutely, my design vision, incorporates a lot of strategy. So where you put the bunkers, where you tighten the fairway, the angle of the green, the slopes on the green, on the putting surfaces, the tee angles, etc. I mean, that's all all things that you need to consider when you're designing a golf course. And at first it was a bit of a challenge, but now it comes so easy to me. And
Jeff, the only reason Adam asked that question is because he wants to know if he's justified in all the times that he cursed Pete Dye. So
I would never curse a man. Mike, you and I have talked about this, though, because you and I do think differently about this. And when we go to courses and we play, and we've never actually played golf together, why would we? But if we ever did, and we ever got out of our little bubble and went into and explored other courses, I am there for the golf, for the aesthetics and the view and the ambiance and the atmosphere. Okay, course be damned, I'm there for the experience of that. You, Mike, are there thinking what Jeff just explained, which is where are these tee markers lined up? Where are we? Where's our attack angle? Where all the other crap that I don't care about? That's Jeff. And that's where I think it's fascinating, because you have to really think of both types of golfers, the stick and the hack, and you can't be one. You probably can't be more one than the other, can you? In that, or are you? Again, it goes, I guess, to the client. If they're like, "Hey, make this course hard as hell," then okay, great, we'll go that route. But how do you typically come about that?
Well, I think that's the hardest thing for architects, is trying to design a golf course that is going to challenge the better player and allow the average player, the high handicapper, still have fun. We've got to remember that most golfers, the average handicap I think is around 18 to 20, if I'm not mistaken. So it's so important to be able to get the average player around the golf course and have it an enjoyable experience. And it's always in the back of my mind, okay, how are we going to challenge the single digit, but how are we going to do it for the juniors, for the super seniors, for the beginners? And I'm a firm believer that you don't put hazards in front of greens. It's off to the sides and minimize your force carries. And so it's extremely challenging trying to have a golf course be everything to everyone. But there's ways of doing it, and it's over my 35 years, I think I've done a pretty good job of a members course versus a tournament course, and allowing all levels to play, regardless of what kind of the vision was from the start.
He's Jeff Lawrence, golf course architect and designer, soon to be a household name, not just because of the Stick and Hack Show, but more specifically because of his great work. Jeff, thanks so much for the time today and learning a little bit more about this. This is one of those conversations that can go a lot of different ways. It can be a deeper dive into the true technical aspects of this. And we hope that maybe you come back. I know we have a piece about golf course architecture in Stick and Hack magazine, and we hope to have you back as well to talk a bit maybe more about those specifics that you mentioned today. But before any of that, we're going to take a break and come back. We're going to play Stick or Hack. You're going to stick around for the game, yes?
Absolutely.
All right, Jeff Lawrence is the guest. Back in a moment. This is the Stick and Hack Show.
Need some gear to rep your favorite golf brand? Visit the Stick and Hack shop to explore our curated collection of exclusive merchandise. With a variety of styles of hats, shirts, and outerwear, we've got something for every golfer. Plus, shop our unique assortment of accessories, including putter covers, foam caddies, and more. Be sure to fill out our weekly cash grab survey to get a chance to win $25 to use at the shop. Visit the Stick and Hack shop today to get what you need to look your best on and off the course.
Back here at the Stick and Hack Show, I'm Adam Grubb, the Hack. That's Mike Ryan, the Stick, and we're with Jeff Lawrence, golf course architect and designer. And it is now time for everyone, when I say everyone, I mean America's favorite pastime, and that is Stick or Hack. And so this game, Jeff, you've heard it, you know it, you probably play it at home with family and friends. It is called Stick or Hack, and today's category, man-made structures. Mike, do you know how I got there?
Yeah, we all know. Doesn't take much.
Man-made structures. So the how this works, Jeff, is you say it's stick or hack, right? I go to you, and then I go to Mike, and then I go to myself. Stick or hack, man-made structures. Number 1, the Eiffel Tower.
Stick.
Okay, I think I'll say stick.
What are you talking about?
Well, because it's turned hacky because people want to kiss in front of it, take stupid Instagram photos in front of it. It's become a different experience. The structure itself is amazing. Everything that happens around it is
stick.
hacky.
It's stick.
Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids at Giza. Jeff?
Stick.
Stick. Absolutely.
Okay. Shocking. Hack. Here's why. You only see one side of it. If you've ever seen the photos of the other side, the town is like 5 feet from it, and it's very strange because in the one side you look at it, it looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere, right? And then you look at the other side of the pyramids, and this massive town is right next to it, and it just looks hokey.
You mean Cairo?
I don't know, Mike. Who cares? Not the point.
Like it's this little town. It's Cairo, Egypt.
Town. Okay, good for you, Magellan. Proud of you. Third, stick or hack, man-made structures, the Taj Mahal.
Hack.
Mikey.
I'm going
Mike
hack.
Mike has never disagreed with a guest in the history.
I'm
of
going
Stick.
hack. That is untrue.
I will say hack as well. We got 3 hacks for the Taj Mahal. Stonehenge, stick or hack, man-made structures. Stonehenge, Jeff.
Hack.
Yeah, hack.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you guys would say stick.
No.
I had a whole thing all lined up and ready to rock and roll. Hack. Where it's a bunch of rocks.
It's just a bunch of rocks stacked on top of each other.
Good for you. You moved a rock from there to there. Who cares? Hoover Dam, stick or hack, man-made structures.
Stick.
Stick.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the documentary or like done any research on how they made that thing and saw like old timey pictures of people like sitting on buckets that were 100 yards in the air?
Yes.
Insane.
I know.
So we're stick.
Adam. Yeah, stick.
Sorry, I'm very, very passionate about the Hoover Dam.
Clearly.
It's a really big deal.
Who knew that was the thing? That was going to be Adam's thing. Who knew?
I thought I was going to get a little pushback there. I didn't. All right. I was ready for a fight. The Great Wall of China. Stick or hack?
Stick.
Stick for me. For sure.
It's a wall.
It's like one of the largest man-made structures
It's a long
on the
wall.
earth.
All right. I'll say stick, but under duress. Alcatraz.
Hack.
Yeah, going hack. It's a prison.
It's badass. So I've been there.
So have I. Like you're the first person that's ever been there.
I found it fascinating. The entire experience to get there and to walk through it is right in the. It's stick for me. Why? I know it's a prison, but it's one of the most famous prisons. And think of all the people that tried to escape there and then died 8 feet from when they got in the water. It's an incredible story. Stick.
It's a great story, but yeah.
Mount Rushmore. Stick or hack, man-made structures. Jeff Lawrence.
Stick.
Stick. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty awesome. So I'll say stick. I mean, they did carve faces into the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So awesome. Leaning Tower of Pisa. Stick or hack?
Hack.
Yeah, it's leaning.
It's leaning. Yeah.
It's a mistake.
What are we doing?
It's not. They didn't even build it right.
They shanked it.
It's hack. They shanked it. It's a complete shank. Hack City, USA is where it should live.
Yep.
I don't know why this is the last one here. Stick or hack. I don't know why this is on here. This is a Shaneism, I assume. The fountains at Bellagio. Let me just back up a second. We went from the Taj Mahal, the Hoover Dam, Leaning Tower of Pisa to the fountains at Bellagio. Okay. Fountains at Bellagio, stick or hack, Jeff?
Yeah.
Hack.
I mean, it's hack. What are we talking about? They're They're
I
fountains.
Okay, right, exactly.
It's not even a structure.
The only thing, the only thing that's cool about it is the ending scene of Ocean's 11 when they're standing in front of it. That's what makes it stick. That's it. And Pavarotti, right? Pavarotti plays or not Pavarotti. What's his name? The opera dude, the blind opera guy. What's his name? Bocelli.
Sure.
Bocelli, yeah.
Okay, well, talk about coming off the rails here, the Stick and Hack show.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when I put
When
Shane
you
in
put
charge.
Shane in charge of things,
the
this is what
Stick and Hack.
happens. Yeah,
The
exactly.
Mounds of Bellagio, he killed it. Absolutely killed the momentum. That's it for us, everybody. I'm Adam Grubb. That's Mike Ryan. We are Stick and Hack. And that's Jeff Lawrence. He is a golf course architect and designer. And we look forward to seeing your work out there all over the world, Jeff. You were part of the ACE Club, weren't you? Yes, I've played that
correct,
course.
yes.
It's incredibly difficult.
Oh, very good.
And you owe me $100. That's how I see it. Jeff Lawrence, thank you, my man, for being a part of the show. Go to stickandhack.com to learn more about the world's greatest golf club without the course. You all keep well, and we'll see you again, no doubt.
Peace out, guys.
Okay, we're done. This has been the Stick and Hack Show. Go to stickandhack.com to become a free member of the world's greatest golf club without the course.